You sneaky. You're running as an outsider.
I am an outsider.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Come on. Come on. Really?
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly.
Let's give the people what they came for.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Mr. Prime Minister, will there always be a Canada?
There will always be a Canada.
All right, elbows out.
Elbows up.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here! Get them out of here! Get the hell out of here!
Enough with the woke shit!
So the answer to that is to stop being stupid.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Is the federal government stealing from us? Are they sabotaging our industry? Are they taking us down the path to communism? Are they censoring us? Are they stealing our guns from us? Come on, let's go!
Let's fucking go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Forge here Monday nights on The Fringe. Boy, late start tonight. That's okay. We had a few technical difficulties, but you know something? Good people like Mike, they always keep it going. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lot to unpack. A lot of things happening in Alberta. A lot of things happening from around the world and a lot to discuss. Without further ado, we can't do the show without bringing in my hetero life mate. Mike, welcome back. Good to see you, brother. How are you?
Hey guys, how's it going? Don't ever do that to me again. I thought I had to go solo tonight. I literally was at the point where I was like gonna text Matt and I'm like, I don't know where Derek is, man. Let's do this. But no, guys, we're here. It's Monday. I'm jazzed. What a hell of a weekend. The internet is exploding. Cats and dogs. It's going nuts. I am super, super excited to get into this stuff.
It's going crazy. You know what happened? I know, so I don't have Castle Grayskull sitting behind me anymore. I sat down to get ready for the show. I fixed my infamous missing Ninja Turtle, which is behind me here. So I finally got him back on the shelf. And as soon as I did, the other one fell off, leg broke. Everything fell apart on the set. The sign fell off the back wall. I had to fix everything before we got the show started. So it's one of those technical evenings, folks. We're going to get through it. Not a technical recession. Technical issues with the show, but we're going to get through them tonight, folks. Let's get an old roll call going on in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from in the chat. Let's see who we can get in here. Look at Britt's awesome telethon. You should do it every month. If we could, we would. Javelin Blue with a $2 right out the back. How are you doing? How are we doing on the Alberta front? Oh, we're going to get into that. We're rest assured going to get into that. Look at Dawes coming in. Derek, good to see you, buddy. It's great to have you in here as well. Let's see what we got in the chat. We got Brenda coming in from Bragg Creek. We got John coming in from Rimbey. Kelly coming in from Rimbey as well. Lynn's joining us from Calgary. We got Tracy and Digger joining us from the Alberta Republic. Miss Titan fan, good old Carrie coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. I love our American viewers. I don't know if you guys know this, but I really love our American viewers. You guys are wonderful. D. Robert coming in from Chicago in the Windy City. Carol and Gerald coming in from Calgary. We got Peter coming in from Oshawa on Terrible. David Anderson joining in from Arkansas. Love our Americans. Eliani, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Every time I almost say Elaine. Coming in from Cochrane. Good to have you in here. Harley Squirrel Nuts coming in from Rocky Mountain House. Has anybody seen the dog? Yeah, he was peeing on the Forever Canada sign. We saw the dog. Don't worry. Don't worry. We got Mike J. coming in from Kirkland, Washington. Good to have you back in here as well. Jacques joining us from Hearst, Ontario. Hockey Fans is coming in from Calgary. Derek, don't use thumbtacks. We're not using thumbtacks. Don't worry. No thumbtacks being used. Who else do we got here? FCFP coming in from Virginia Beach in Virginia. Welcome in. Good to have you here. And we got Phoebe coming in from Innisfail. We've got Guy Hodgins coming in from Medicine Hat. Derek's joining us from good old Carson City, Nevada. David Brewer joining us from Springfield. We got Chris coming in from Airdrie. We got J-Man coming in from California. Look at Uncle Chico gifting 5 unacceptable fringe memberships to the chat right out of the gate. What a champ. What a champ. You guys are on fire. We got Mr. Biggs coming in from Edmonton. Mystical still on the roof. You need some fascist pancakes? Don't worry. We're going to get a fresh serving to you. We got Laura coming in from Tabor. Therese coming in from Ontario. Or Tress coming in from Ottawa. Jeez, I'm screwing it all up tonight. Sanjali coming in from Lethbridge. Tommy's coming in from Calgary. Pro Independence is coming in from Capasquin. Good to have you in here. Austin's joining us from Calgary. Gygus is coming in from Medicine Hat. It's Brad. 18+4 coming in from Lloyd. Guys, I got to get caught up in the chat. We have lots to talk about, lots to unpack. Look at this. We already got supers to get out of the way. Ingrid coming in from Bragg Creek. Thank you so much. Sanjali is a member for 7 months. Good Life Fitness didn't fire the employee. I'm happy to hear that. I heard that earlier. We'll talk about that a little bit tonight. Uncle Chico coming in with the $10 super, wishing my wife a happy birthday. Love you, woman. There you go. Happy birthday to Mrs. Uncle Chico. Good to have you guys in here. And Dawes becoming a new member of the Patriots Club as well. Thank you. You guys are so supportive right out of the gate. I thought after everybody threw their money out like we did during the telethon that it would be a slow night. Look, you guys are coming out in spades. Look at Ali, $2 super with purring. Oh, you want purring, do you? Everybody wants the purring. God, it's so creepy.
And the Unity bus is just purring.
It's not going to be purring for long. Nick coming in with the $2 super, time to roast some Parliament losers. Let's get at it. Mike, what do we got?
Oh my God. So much to unpack. First of all, I just want to do a big shout out to everybody that helped with the telethon. I mean, we were up in the Edmonton studio, to the guys from Critical Compass, to Max, to John, to all the other YouTubers, to the volunteers, to everyone who worked behind the scenes to make that event what it was. It was so wonderful, and I was so happy to be part of it. It was truly just seeing the grassroots of it, where just people came together to create something that was above and beyond what I expect. And you guys did exactly what I thought you guys would do, and that was make every single one of the liberal pundits' minds explode. You
want to talk about exploding?
The reactions were nuts. Before we get into that, when it comes to No. Put this away. I have a whole segment.
Oh, okay.
Put this
All
away.
right.
Put this away.
All right. We'll put Mr. Alberta back for now.
Yeah. When we get to him, I literally have a new segment that I want to start called Mr. Alberta Destroys the Internet. I got stuff on this. But guys, again, to John and everyone, it was Keith and all the TPAs. And I was almost late coming to the show tonight. I was out in Toefield handing out signs with Sheila Gunn Reid, and just people coming up saying how much they loved the telethon, how much they were happy to watch it. It was crazy. I don't know. What was your take?
Well, it was, if I got to be honest, I got to say it was amazing. It was incredible. So many people coming together. It was wonderful. You guys supported in spades. And, well, we did our donation on the air. We donated $1,000 towards Keith's TPA. We've made some donations to other TPAs as well. So it was a very successful telethon. Derek, you're asking, how much did it make? Last time I checked, I believe they were on the cusp of somewhere. Today's reporting's between $150,000 and $160,000. That's what I was. Now I don't know if that's factual. I know John Bolton said it was somewhere between 130, 140. So grain of salt, folks. I was told 150, 160. Either way. Absolutely phenomenal. I would call that a success, regardless of how you slice it. And let me tell you something. I can't talk about some of the plans that I have heard that are coming, but I can tell you right now that when we go back to a couple months ago, you guys remember when we had the big influencer live stream where everybody was here and we were saying, what are we going to do? Nobody's got off the ground yet. There's no signs or anything. And people were pretty defeated. People felt pretty defeated. Like this was the end of everything. Like we weren't going to see any progress. Let me tell you something. The plans that I've been told give me hope that independence is on the way. Our minds were blown. Our minds were literally blown. And of course, we can't talk about it until it comes out. But just know that your money that you donated over the weekend, whether it was to Jason Levine, whether it was to Corey Morgan, Keith Wilson, Stay Free Alberta, your money is in safe hands, and it is going to a really amazing cause, and some good things are coming. Independence, folks, is within arm's reach, and I've never felt more confident that we're going to win this vote in October than after that telethon on Saturday.
I 100% agree. Just talking to Keith and talking to the other TPAs. Like I was talking to Sheila like 20 minutes ago, and like they raised almost $20,000 just for them. And it was the fact that they're like, the money's going to go to good. I am so ecstatic right now. And this is why, of course, the attacks have been coming out worse and worse over the last 24 hours. I'm very, very optimistic. We're at a turning point. The energy's high. People are seeing this. People like even the views today, they're still going up and up and up from the telethon because people are catching up for the segments they may have missed. You know, it was a long show. So yeah, and people like I was talking today, people were showing up picking up signs, and they were like, hey, like I was like literally watching some of the telethon right before I came here, just to kind of catch up some of the stuff that I missed. So it was an absolute killer success, motivation through the roof. People are excited. I don't even know where to begin. There is so much stuff to cover. I know you're having a.
Let's pull up Alberta Telethon for starters, the website. All right, folks, we're 90 days away from the vote, 3 months exactly away from the October 19th vote. And I, for one, am as giddy as a schoolgirl. I think we got this. Yeah. Now you can head over to albertatelethon.com. You can watch any of the clips, like any of the segments of whoever your favorite presenter is. I know Unacceptable Fringe is right here. You guys are going to want to check that out if you missed it. That's everybody's favorite, I think. But you got to go over to the left here. You can still donate to all of these TPAs. They're all listed over on the left. Again, you have to be from Alberta in order to do so. If you're outside of Alberta and if you want to donate, again, I just say in your super chat that that's what you want me to do with the earnings. These are my earnings, Elections Alberta, for me to decide what to do with them. I personally will make another donation towards TPAs before those close. So for anybody who's just watching and saying, I really want Alberta to get ahead, I don't mind putting my earnings towards that cause because we have the greatest community on the platform.
Yeah.
Hands down. But head over to albertatelethon.com. Watch your favorite clips. Donate to your favorite TPAs. You guys donated generously during the telethon over to this channel, so thank you for that. I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to the Critical Compass, Max over at Freedom Calendar, everybody who worked behind the scenes, especially John Bolton, even though he screwed up my picture. Excuse me.
I still think he's a vampire.
He could be a vampire. The guy never sleeps. But John Bolton literally moved mountains to get this telethon off the ground. Again, we sat everybody down in our little multi-collab stream and said, what's everybody going to do? How are we going to get through this? How are we going to win this vote? Guys like John Bolton, you know, I remember a time when him and I talked and he says, if this ever becomes work, I'll quit. And boy, he contradicted himself because I couldn't have done what he's done. So huge shout out to John Bolton, especially for everything he did. Wow. Blown away.
I think the only regret I have from that entire night is we weren't able to make it down to Paul's Pizza because, man, was that a party. That place got shut down. Like, it was absolutely crazy. It was a party.
Yep. And it's okay because you know what? We'll be organizing another event in the future where all of us will be under one roof. Looking very forward to that. Here's Steve Jensen with a $10 super. I was handing out signs yesterday. I couldn't believe how many people were still scared to put up signs. There's way more silent support out there than we think or know. Stop it. You got to tell those people to stop it. You have to ask yourself, how bad do we want independence? How bad do you want Alberta to break free? And I'll tell you something, folks. As soon as a few of you start putting them up and showing you're not scared, others will follow. We need to paint this province blue. We need to start asking the question. Now, look, I come back. Look at this. Look at this motivational spirit. We're kicking the crap out of everybody. Why do you think Pierre's coming here? Why do you think Mark Carney's here with his goons? Why do you think people are getting appointed to come and talk to us? Because we're small fringe? Because we're small fringe? Do you see Thomas Lukasik raising $140,000 in a day? Well, we don't know because
we got to be over 200K. Like I think when they finally do all the proper tally, because I mean, like I said, the donations will win into the night. I'm really confident we're over 200.
You got to remember, Keith Wilson was already over $250,000 before the telethon. Like, people are donating in volume because they back this movement, because they back independence. You have to start realizing, folks, as much as I crap on the Forever Canadians and everything, they're going to have to make a decision on what they're going to do when Alberta votes to leave. We're going to have to live with these people, whether we like it or not. We have to find a way to have common ground to a certain extent. But what we also have to start asking people, when people are saying, well, I'm afraid to put up signs, like, can Alberta do better? When comes the time, if you stand back and allow people to tell you, you're not allowed to put up signs. You can't put signs up in your yard. You're committing treason. You're this, you're that. When do we start taking back control? When do we take back control of everything this woke mob has taken from us? When do we start taking back control of our province, of our government, and of our lives? And if something as small as a sign is going to stop you from doing that, I understand there's no purity test. I'm not saying that you have to do something or else, but I'm saying I'd be very hard pressed amongst silent support to say, yeah, you really want independence if you're not prepared to stick your neck out like the rest of us do and say, yeah, I'm going to stand behind my convictions. If somebody wants to yell at you and say, oh, well, you're committing treason. What has the government done for us lately?
Exactly.
What has the government done for us? What are they doing for us to benefit us? What have they done to make our lives better? Is your life better than it was 5 years ago? See, that's how the conversation gets started, folks. And all it takes is starting with a sign. Take back control of Alberta. Mike, let's roll.
No, I agree. I think a lot of it's going to come down to just winning hearts and minds. And we've talked about this before, that people have to show a little courage when it comes to this. At the end of the day, you're not being treasonous. You're being patriotic to your home. This is your home, Albertans. This is your place. This is where you're going to raise your family, your kids, your grandkids, and this is where you want to prosper. At the end of the day, I don't think they've done anything for us. You know, they come out with these MOUs, they come out with the Green Slush Fund. It's all the MPs and everyone's just lining their pockets. Meanwhile, we're out here slaving away, working 18, 16-hour days and just working to try to feed the machine. Well, at the end of the day, we're tired of it. We want to be, they tried to get a seat at the table. They said no. We tried to get more involved in the political movement. That didn't work either. And now they're going to come here and tell us you can't leave. Like, I'm sorry. We're done being serfs. It's about time you stand up and be proud of yourselves and hold your head up high. We are the engine of this country, and we are sick and tired of being forced to have to continue to pay and pay and pay, and we don't get any of the benefits.
That's correct. There's Michael Drader. Forever Crew will be fellow Albertans, not pets. That's right. Our pets are peeing on their signs. Okay. It's Mike, I gotta say,
I know there's so much stuff. I don't even know where to get into first. Do you want to go over the new you're gonna start a war in Spruce Grove?
No, I was gonna say you're looking very sharp in that jersey. I meant to have mine on tonight. Of course, again, technical difficulties. Are people able to order these jerseys yet?
All right, guys, this is the big one. So we teamed up with Alberta Pin and got these sweet Freedom 27 baseball jerseys. If you guys watch the telethon, they're live right now. If you guys go to Alberta Pin, I think it's .com, and you guys can pick them up. Now, the beauty is they're really high quality. They're all in, like, they're stitched, they're embroidered, they're really, really nice. They got the sweet patches on the side. If you guys go to the website, Alberta Pin, you guys can pick them up. Use promo code FRINGE, FIRNGE, to get yourself 20% off. This is a pre-order we're doing for 2 weeks.
It's albertapin.ca.
.ca. Okay. Do you have it there?
albertapin.ca. Now let's bring it up, because here's the jerseys, folks. Now, hang on before you get all worried and go, holy shit, look at those prices. If you use promo code FRINGE, I believe they go down to 185.
Yeah.
I believe you get 20% off. And that promo code's good for, what is it, 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks, folks. So go and get them now. These are embroidered, high quality jerseys. These are the same quality that you get from Major League Baseball teams, things like that. So if you go to a jersey store, anything like that, same quality. I will be donating a portion of my profits because at some point I got to make a few dollars or else, we can't feed the kids. But I'll be donating a portion of my profits towards TPAs as well. You can get the white baseball jersey. They have men's, women's, and kids available. You can buy their flags, their hats, their patches, their pins, everything on this site. But the jerseys, folks, if you put in code FRINGE, save 20%. I believe it takes it down to $185.
Yeah, you're right.
Which again, a Blue Jays jersey or anything else will cost you more than that. And this is way better quality.
Yeah, I've been wearing mine pretty religiously. Even just at the sign where we were handing out signs, I had people coming up saying that was really nice. Sheila Gunn Reed actually just bought one.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There
she
you
loved
go.
it. She's like, I want one now. The females ones are more tapered and fitted. And yes, for the bigger guys out there, they go up to 7XL, which is like a bed sheet. So they're American
7XL.
sizes. Yeah, I'm rocking a large right now. I normally rock an XL, so just be aware of it. They are loose fitting. They're wonderful. They're very comfortable. But guys, get out there and pick up your swag because, like I said, it goes to the cause and it helps to show the message. So really,
yeah, and people were saying, can we get a hockey jersey like that? I think they had a prototype at one point. It didn't look as good as the baseball jerseys.
No, I know he was talking about working on one, but it's just like I said, he came up with a prototype. It was printed on. It didn't look as nice. But yeah, we're gonna rock the baseball ones just because these things are epic.
They're great. And I'll tell you before people go, oh God, Nilok, what size would fit me? I'd go with an XL or a 2X if you like it baggy.
He's probably an XL. Nilok, go with an XL.
Probably,
go with a large. Go with a large. Actually, he's kind of thin. So
really, I kind of thought I would have thought a 2X would have been nice and baggy. Either way, do as you will. They're fantastic. There was a guy at the Whistle Stop who offered to buy the Alberta Pins jersey when he was rocking the white one. What did he offer him? Like $300 or something?
$300, yeah.
$300 right on the spot. He liked it that much, folks. And again, no grift here. I always say that if you're going to spend the money, you might as well get quality. These are made in Canada. They're shipped out of Canada. So it's better than my shirts because they come from America. I know some people get mad about that. So there's no duties on these. Go and order them. Get yours now. They're absolutely. Is there a size chart? Somebody says. Let me click on one and see.
I'll see if he can.
Hang on, I'm on the site right now.
Doing it live.
It doesn't show a size. It doesn't show a size chart. Here's what I'll say. These aren't like Chinese sizes. Okay. I normally wear a 2X. I got a 2X given to me and it fit perfectly. So whatever your normal size is, you're probably safe ordering it. If you want to, like I said, order one size up just if you like it baggy or loose. Like I'm a 90s kid. So I'm part of that baggy era. But if you order whatever size you normally wear, you should be covered. You should be good. Should be good.
Definitely.
AA Ron, member for 22 months. Is there any info on Trump seizing Carney's assets? Nothing on the assets, but we just put out a video actually before the stream started. Trump is implementing more tariffs.
Yep.
50% tariffs on most common goods going over the border. And of course, Doug Ford shouted at him and said, shut up and help us. And things got crazy. Maybe we'll show that if we got some time in this stream. Mike, let's get back to Alberta. Let me clear these supers and then we'll get back. Okay. Kevin with a $5 super. Trump is planning to impose 50% tariff on certain Canadian imports due to discrimination against the American businesses like cars, dairy, and alcohol. It's mostly dairy and alcohol. The dairy tariffs from Canada are 200%. Isn't that unbelievable with supply management? 200%. And of course, the alcohol. And rather than Doug Ford coming out and saying, hey, let's put the alcohol back on the shelves, he just said, shut up. And then he tweeted out after $to tariffs if Trump implements these. That's the best way to get help, isn't it, Doug? Idiot. Here we got Lee with a $10 super. Starting to wonder if I'm the only one in Blackfalds because I've not seen any other lawn signs here except for forever slavery signs. It's sad. Yeah, I don't even know if I can use the R word anymore because of the stupid C9, but start telling your neighbors to put them up.
Yep.
Start talking about it.
Even guys, if it's taking you a while to get a sign, just go out and get a flag. Just show your support. It's as simple as that. If honestly your neighbor's going to come at you for putting a sign for the province up, I mean, they are truly deranged. They're the ones that are the elbows up. They're the ones that, that want to, like right now, they're the probably cheering. Oh, Trump wants to put more tariffs. We're going to fight back because we're Canada. I'm like, we don't have the economic might to fight back. We're going to get screwed in this deal. Carney screwed us. Welcome to being poor.
Welcome to the shit show.
Yeah.
Mr. Biggs, $10. Yesterday at K-Days, I had a forever slavery try to convince me to buy a red and white cap cover. She must not have liked the North Stands free Alberta pin cap and my Alberta First t-shirt. LOL. That's awesome, Mr. Biggs. Love it. Steve Jensen with a $10. City employee of Sherwood Park was told they are not allowed to get involved in the movement because they're supposed to be neutral employees. WTF, they can't do that. No, they can't. They can't tell you what to do in your private life. You can do whatever you like. Just keep it to yourself. If you're doing those things, just don't tell your employer. Okay? This is the reason why people were losing their minds over Mr. Alberta. They were saying, oh, how come he wears a mask? This is why. You guys remember when Northern Perspective first started out? Ryan and Tanya were avatars. They used avatars because they worked for the government and they didn't want to lose their jobs. This is what happens. If it weren't for the wacko lefties, we probably wouldn't have a problem with that. Look at Tony Shaw, member for 12 months. I removed it there. Ordered mine and Mama jersey last night. I love it. Hopefully you used our code. Hopefully you had our code and saved some money. Gerald, being a member for 7 months, the pleb today C9 passed. Watch what we say or jail.
Or into the gulag we go, essentially. Yeah, I saw Pleb's video. Yeah, he was just restating that C9 is passed. It's into action. So we got to be careful what we say so that we can keep giving you guys the wonderful news. Now, I want to get into a new segment called Mr. Alberta Destroys the Internet.
I am here to save Alberta from all who threaten her. We will fight for our independence and our future.
I love that video.
That's
all right. So, guys, I was privileged enough to meet the legend himself, Mr. Alberta, when we were there at the telethon. I did see him without his mask on, so it was one of those things you never want to see your heroes. But his presence alone completely destroyed their brain. I don't know. Let's start with the Jason Kenney tweet. All right, right here.
Okay.
Jason Kenney, as I was saying, just another normal one in the separatist world. This from their live telethon today. And no, it's not AI generated. Literally got triggered by a guy in an Alberta shirt.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't believe it. And of course, every leftist and elbows people just went absolutely nuts with this. Like just filled the comment section. He completely destroyed it. I mean, he's just a normal dude that's doing this because he's pro-independence and he's got a little bit of a channel. He's trying to make some waves. But then what's awesome is we have our own superhero at this point. What do they got? They got a middle-aged Polish dude that walks around in turtlenecks and chinos.
Well, I think we need to talk about that. Because listen, you guys got to understand when we went to the telethon studio on Saturday, Mike literally turned around and said, "You're Mr. Alberta?" And he says, "Yeah." And he says, "It's ruined. It's ruined for me." It was like finding out Santa Claus wasn't real. Well, I'll ruin it for all of you because I know who Mr. Alberta is. Sign the docs. I think it's high time I let the cat out of the bag. I said, I've seen Mr. Alberta without his mask. You want to know who he really is? He's actually Tom Lukasik. He's Tommy the Commie.
Oh, but the outrage. Here you go. Here's another leftist account from Gator Gum. You might have missed it, but this is an actual image. This is real. This is not AI. They're not exactly proud to stand up and put their name on their own work, are they? I'm like, you blame the guy for being in a mask? I mean, he's got a normal job. And it's we're out here doing this because we've decided to put ourselves out there, but some people are still legitimately scared about being doxxed and attacked. I mean, you guys, the Forever Elbows people are a bunch of lunatics. A couple of weeks ago, they threw a guy into traffic. Like, you know,
Here's-
there's
here's
boycotts
what-
on business. It's terrible.
Well, look what Mike says here. He's got it nailed down. Alberta socialists are making a photo of a guy go viral of an Alberta man wearing a mask. They act like they didn't spend 2 years following mask mandates. At one time, they were losing their collective minds if somebody wasn't wearing one. What changed? I mean, hypocrites. They're all hypocrites.
I mean, there's still videos of people in Ontario right now because of the smoke. They're like, "How are you not walking around with that mask? You're just killing yourself." Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, and Jason Kenney went to crying like a bitch. He's just curled up in the corner, crying himself to sleep on his phallus-shaped pillow, crying like a bitch because he can't handle that the independence movement's moving forward. This is why whoever said earlier, I forget who said it earlier, you're not winning. Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Kenney can't even sleep at night because of what we're doing. They're scared. They're wearing the brown pants. Yeah, there you go.
This one's my favorite. This one.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
that was a classic. That was a gooder.
So good.
That was a
the
gooder.
memes have gone viral. People are just going nuts. Who would have thought that a guy, like I said, in a mask and an Alberta shirt could have destroyed the internet over the last 24 hours?
After everything, like out of that whole 12 hours, did anybody have that on their bingo card that Mr. Alberta would break the internet? Like he's a great guy. He's
Awesome
a great
dude.
guy. I've known him for a while. In fact, everybody in Spruce Grove who got their signs when we did our sign handout, Mr. Alberta was the one who went and got them for us. So, I mean, Mr. Alberta does a lot. And I know a lot of the reason he likes doing the character, but I know a lot of it, again, is because of the crazy wackos on the other side of the spectrum. They'll try to get him canceled. They'll ruin his life. He'll be unemployable. He needs his job. He's got a good job, too. But
Yeah.
I just
broke the internet.
broke the internet. I'm literally lost for words. Dude broke the internet. It was absolutely hilarious. I know Mrs. Fringe and I drove home the whole way laughing about it. She was getting real-time updates on X, and she was just giggling her ass off saying, I can't believe it. I can't believe Jason Kenney's losing his collective mind over this. It was great. You love to see it, folks. Love to see it.
All right. I want to bring up your new turf war that's happening in Spruce Grove right now.
Oh, Dane Lloyd.
You,
Yes,
Jason Levine, are just going nuts.
Let's talk about Dane.
Okay, let's talk about Dane. Poilievre appoints Edmonton MP to lead party pro-unity campaign ahead of Alberta's separatism referendum. You know, Jason had a good post here. He's like, this is Dane Lloyd. I ran against him in the last federal election. He did not show up to the debates. He ran on gun rights and did nothing. He helped shut down the event by supporting the removal of funding from the public venue. It worked. He lied about it in an email and defamed me. Dane is turning him back on the 50,000 voters on one of the most grassroots riding in Canada. Yeah, he was chosen for the role because Parkland is the most vocal about sovereignty. Dane, are you interested in having a public debate? We're all waiting on the reasons why Alberta should stay. What are you gonna do? You're a spicy you're a spicy one, so I'm kind of curious.
Well, let's talk about Dane Lloyd. Dane Lloyd, this guy. So back during the federal election, I didn't know much about Dane Lloyd before moving to Spruce. I'd seen him in the House of Commons. I'd heard about him. And then during the federal election, one of my viewers who was working alongside the Conservative campaign said, hey, listen, I volunteer with Dane's office. He'd like to meet you. He'd like to talk with you before the election. A couple days before the election, I went down to his office, took him an autographed copy of How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, went to chat with him, take a photo with him because that's what he asked for. I got there and Dane Lloyd had no idea who I was. And I was standing there the whole time going, why the hell am I here? And he goes, oh yeah, somebody told me you were like an important YouTuber. And it's like, an important YouTuber. So you didn't even bother to do your research. You didn't bother to care. This guy looks like he got into his job as an MP so that he could just go golfing on weekends and live the easy life. Like, he doesn't look like a politician. He certainly hasn't done much for Parkland County ever since becoming an MP. The reason he became an MP, the only reason I can justify him becoming an MP is because it's a conservative riding. It's a hardcore conservative riding. So Dane Lloyd figures, well, as long as I can run conservative, it's a shoe-in. I got it in the bag. I can win the election. Now, I went into his office, and I asked him about Pierre, because this channel, again, very pro-Pierre at the time. I said, so is Pierre going to crush it? Because I saw him in Edmonton at his rally. I just seen the rally in Calgary, where they opened up the airplane hangar and Pierre came off the plane. Crowds were cheering. People were losing their minds. Women were lighting their panties on fire. I mean, it was absolutely electric. And I thought, what momentum Pierre has. We're finally going to get rid of the Liberals. We're finally going to see a change. And I asked Dane about that, and Dane says, oh, Pierre's not going to win. I said, sorry? He says, yeah, he's not going to win. South Asian community in Toronto, he says, they'll never let it happen. We already know we're not polling strong enough to win that election. I said, wait a minute. So it's 2 days before the election. You're telling me that you're not going to win the vote. And Pierre just went to the airplane hangar in Calgary instead of focusing on this Asian vote in Toronto. You're telling me you guys already know the election is lost. Yep. What are we doing? I literally went home and I said to my wife, the more time I spend around politics, the more I hate it. The more I hate it. Because as I got into politics, when I was a brand new, fresh off the scene YouTuber, I hated Justin Trudeau. I knew about politics, conservatives, liberals, blah, blah, blah. I knew where I stood as a voter. But the more I've spent time around politicians, the more you see who operates the machine in the background, the more you get access to this shit, the more it becomes apparent it's all part of a big game. They're all playing it. Like George Carlin says, it's a big club. You're not a part of it. And I was so pissed off because I went home with the wind out of my sails and I said, I thought we were getting real change. This idiot tells me Pierre's not going to win. And my wife says, how could he possibly know what the vote's going to be before the election even hits? I said, well, he's a politician. They run polls. They get their numbers. She says, wait for election day. I guarantee you something's different. Nope, Pierre lost. And he lost in his riding. I know that one probably surprised them. But what was funny was, and we talked about the pleb earlier, if you go back to the pleb's live stream, when he was in Carleton, when Pierre wrapped up in Carleton, the first time he'd been there in years, by the way, Pierre walked to his bus at the end of it. He gave pleb a hug. Does everybody remember that? He gave pleb a hug live on stream. It was the end of the run. The pleb had followed Pierre all over the country, and you could see Pierre and his wife were crying. They looked down, and I literally watched it and said to my wife, I think Dane was right. I think they know they're losing. And I think I hate politics now. I think I hate the political system. And at that point, I just said, I think Alberta should go.
Yeah. You know what? I actually kind of feel bad for the pleb because I saw, like, everyone saw how much effort he did to prop up Pierre, to prop up the Conservatives. I mean, all the YouTubers did it. They all got on Team Pierre just to try to win the vote. And everyone worked so hard and got the message out and got their message out and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And like, you saw the look on his face when he was done. He was, then, you know, he went and disappeared for a little while. And it just, I mean, to put that much work and fly around and follow and promote and hype and all that stuff, just to basically get a slap in the face is literally you're doing it for nothing. It's a kick
well, there's things that go on in the background again. Look, the pleb was fine. The pleb managed okay. He made a lot of money during the campaign.
That's true.
And I got to tell you, I'm grateful for the pleb because this channel got a huge boost during that election thanks to the pleb. But I've known Nick for a couple of years. And I like him. I don't have a problem with him. He's got a problem with me now because I didn't go to his Conservative Party back in the new year in Calgary. But I told him, look, I'm invested in what's happening in Alberta. And it upset him because he's still pro-Pierre. And he should be because he lives on the other side of the country. That's all they've got. That's all. That's their only hope right now is to get rid of the Liberals. But I said Alberta has something more. And I don't want to get invested in something or look like I'm promoting something that's the complete opposite of what it is that I really want for Alberta, which is independence. And I guess it angered him. He's allowed to feel the way he does. I have no hard feelings against Nick, but what you saw there was the machine and how it works. And I reached out to Pierre's guys for months. Anybody who watched this channel before the federal election knows. I was in contact with Pierre's people. I was always telling them, you need to come on. You got to get an interview. Let's get you on the channel. And we were always told they don't like the name of the channel. Pierre thinks it's bad for optics. Jenny Byrne thinks it's bad for optics. I approached Pierre's guys yesterday when I seen this Dane Lloyd announcement. And I said, not only is Dane Lloyd my MP, but Pierre Poilievre should come on the most watched political Alberta channel in the province if he really wants to listen to what Albertans have to say and tell us his pitch for why Alberta should remain in Canada.
Well, especially when he's my MP. I've never, no one's ever seen him in the writing. I mean, we're pretty rural, but still, you know, he's not in Camrose. He's not in Stettler. He's not down south in Brooks and Hannah. Nobody's seen him.
Yeah, look, for the rest of Canada watching this, I don't have a problem with Pierre. I have a problem with the system, and I have a problem with politicians who know that things can't get fixed in Alberta showing up to tell us to just shut up and put up because they enjoy the perks and the benefits that come with their job. I understand that they have to because they're federalists, but what you have to realize is that if Pierre came on this channel, there'd be questions about, look, Alberta has grievances that are only solved by opening the Constitution. Are you telling me that Canada's going to do that? And he'll, of course, either dance around it or say, no, they can't do that. Okay, so then why should we stay? Why should we stay? Nothing is going to change to solve our problems. So you're listening to us now. What? We're just talking to a brick wall. Nothing can be done. That's the problem, folks. All these people get mad at me, and I always see it in the comments, stop bashing PP. I'm not bashing Pierre. I'm bashing the system. I'm bashing the government. I'm bashing the hamster wheel that we keep being told to jump on and traverse over and over and over again with no results. No change. In fact, things are getting worse. And we're being told, yeah, just suck it up.
Well, essentially, we're losing our place in Confederation. We have no say. Anything, all our grievances, it just gets thrown out the window. They don't care. You know, they're like, oh, we'll give you a pipeline that your tax dollars are going to pay for, and maybe that'll make you happy. See, we're getting stuff done. I mean, nothing's getting done. None of those pipelines are going to go through. Everybody knows that. They're going to get stopped at first reserve to speak up. There's like 300 reserves between here and Ottawa. Sarnia, like, do you think what, like, everyone's going to stop this? This is never going to happen, or it's going to take like 40 years and cost like $300 billion by the time it's done. So I'm sorry. We're not looking too good as being part of Confederation. Alberta's always been, like I said, has always been the engine driving the economy. We've always worked the most. We've always contributed the greatest amount, and they just tell us to shut up and just keep working.
80% of the country's growth in jobs came from Alberta. And they're going to tell us, oh, you won't survive as your own country. Really? Because we seem to be doing a good job so far, and we're not even there yet. I said it in the past couple streams. My back is really sore from carrying the rest of this country. And I don't care if that triggers you. That's a statistical fact. Real Steve Jensen, $5 super. Black Faults, call Whistle Stop. Get my number. I'll come hand out some signs there. Donations welcome to make more. There you go. Thank you, Steve. Snow with a $5 super. Devil's Advocate. PP appointed Dane because he's useless and won't actually do anything. Most likely. But again, here's the reason I offered it, because I could probably, I didn't see the chat. It was moving too quickly, but I'm willing to bet people in the chat are saying, why the hell would he bring Pierre on? Why would he even waste time talking to Pierre? Because if Pierre doesn't want to come on the most watched political channel in Alberta to say that he's prepared to hear the grievances of Albertans, guess what that says, folks? He doesn't give a shit about you, about your lifestyle, about the fact that you can't afford to eat or live or anything else. And it's not to say, oh, pay attention to me or you don't matter. It's me saying, from an optics point of view, since we know that that's what matters to politicians so much, if you refuse to come on the channel when I've given you an open door while saying, well, we have to listen to Albertans, you're not prepared to listen. You're not prepared. And he told me that during the federal election as well. I wrote a book about him. We brought out Just Axe the Tax. I went to give it to him with my daughter, at his pancake breakfast. His security people stopped me like I was Lee Harvey Oswald. And they pulled me aside and said, oh, you can't go to Pierre. You can't talk to Pierre. Oh, no, we don't want to be associated with you YouTubers. We've talked to the pleb. We like the pleb. We don't want to be associated with the rest of you guys. It's bad optics. Is that so? Is that so?
Like,
these guys don't give a shit.
No, even bad press is good press. Like I can't believe it. They would do that. Then they would see that, us, this channel, the amount of people that we've reached, the amount of people that we talk to. I'm like, this is your freaking writing. This is your base. This is where most of the votes come for the Conservatives. It's here. And the only reason he's coming here is because he cares about his stupid job.
Their party will disintegrate without Alberta.
Yeah, you want to see a super majority? There it is.
Yep. Look, I'm glad the pleb made as much money as he did traveling around the country, because here's the fact at the end of the day for the pleb. Pierre Poilievre doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about Canadians. He cares about his job. He cares about providing for his family. He cares about what he leaves behind for his family, just like every husband and father does on this planet. That's it. I thought Pierre wanted to save Canada. I thought he was going to fix things. I thought he was going to make our lives better. And I'm telling you, folks, I still think he's the best guy for the job if Mark Carney was rushed out of office tomorrow. However, he can't fix Alberta. He's not going to fix anyone's lives. He'll probably make them a little bit better. But at the end of the day, folks, when you go to talk to him, when you go and shake his hand, when you take a picture with him, you're just another face to him. He's never had to struggle and decide, am I going to pay a bill or put food in the fridge? Is somebody going to come repo my car? Do I have to live in my car next month? He's never had to make those choices. He's probably never had to ask his parents for $20. He's always had money in the bank. He's always been looked after. The guy's worth what, $12 million?
Something like that.
He doesn't know what it means to struggle like the rest of you. So when he sits there and says, I can relate, bullshit, you can. And that's just basic reality and honesty, folks. If I sat here as a YouTuber and made $1 million a year being on YouTube, I would have no business sitting here saying to you, oh, I understand what it means to live check to check. I understand what it means to struggle. If I was driving a Ferrari and could go on vacation 6 times a year, I don't understand what it means for your struggles at all. So forgive me for not having sympathy for a politician who's just here because they don't want their ticket to end on the gravy train.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
Let's crush these super chats and then we'll get
into some. And then we're going to move on. We're getting too wrapped up in this. My emotions get so spiked when I talk about this. And you know what it is, folks? It's not Pierre. I'm just sick and tired of the status quo. That's all it is. Nancy with the $7. We need locations where people could pick up signs like we had for signing petitions. TPAs could drop off signs at those locations. Nancy, reach out to those TPAs, email them. They're all on their websites. Mention that to them. Maybe they can set something up. Tony Shaw, $10 super. PP only cares about one thing. It's his job. Exactly. And that's okay. He's allowed to do that, guys. I'm not criminalizing Pierre for that. Steve Jensen, $5 super. Pierre scared he'll lose the votes in the East if he comes on as usual. Fine. But it shows you that he's not really prepared to listen to Albertans. It shows you that he's not prepared to make a pitch to those who are actually on the fence for independence. Mr. Alberta, here's AI. It's AI. Fake news, Derek. Pierre cares about us. He cares that we shut up and keep voting Conservative Party without asking questions and never expect anything from them. There it is in a nutshell. But some AI must have wrote that very well.
That's Mr. Alberta, people. That's the legend himself.
There he is, Mr. Alberta. Gracie, $7 super. Conservatives are scared. They know they're out of a job if Alberta independence is successful. It's over for the Conservatives. The Conservatives will be in the same state as the NDP party. They'll be non-existent. They're fighting for their jobs. That's it. Mike.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
do
up
this thing on the channel.
Let's do it
now. The douche of the week.
Come on. Really? Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
That's what we need to do is support each other.
Douche
guys, it's everyone's favorite segment. Sorry we waited so long, but I had to get the ranting out of Derek. Guys, it is that time. The infamous Unacceptable Fringe Freedom Honey Douche of the Week, where we take your nominees and we then vet them, and I go through them, and I originally just pick someone that I hate, and we come up with the nominee for this week. Now, there has been a lot of stuff that has happened in the last 24 hours. There has been, with the online hatred, the fact that Mr. Alberta is now the most infamous person on X right now, the fact that, King Douche himself got triggered by it. But sadly, this week's nominee is Michaela Resists.
How you
like
Some people might be asking who that is.
How you like them pancakes? Now, I have the video, but there's a lot of swearing in it. Judges?
Here, let me pull it up. I'll pull it up because I'll show.
I have it in the in the videos.
Is all that audio coming in from the computer?
No, it could be mine. I'm not sure. All right, I'll let Derek play. But essentially, guys,
here we go.
Let's play the video, I guess.
Here we go. Hang on, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it to where we can actually play what's going on.
We're doing it live, people. We're doing it live. Just the most unhinged, crazy leftist stuff I've ever seen.
There it is. After fascist pancakes.
Yeah.
Your fascist pancakes.
I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Guys, so if you guys didn't see the video, essentially this is a nutshell. The face you make when you realize fascist pancakes are now the least of your worries. Let's see your union protect you out of this one, sweetheart. So essentially,
a teacher. I heard she was a teacher.
Something like that, works with kids, and this is what this is not bringing our best here, Alberta. Not bringing our best. Okay, so let's kind of bring a rundown. So Danielle Smith had a pancake breakfast. They did it out. She was doing a good job, handing out pancakes and stuff like that. This unhinged wackadoodle, and that's what I'm going to call her. I got to be careful with the new censorship laws. Decided then to make essentially clickbait is what I'm calling it. I'm going to leave this picture up because the face is just decided to go there, film it, try to make Dean. F your fascist pancakes, it's like, how about trans rights and all this stuff? Well, she ended up, it went pretty viral. Let's just say that. I said it went pretty viral. And then the left jumped on this, like they were like she was the new hero because she decided to call out Danielle Smith and then get dragged away with security because of her unhingedness. And I mean, the response has been crazy. First, of course, we have fascist pancakes, Kirkland signature.
Favorite brand.
Discipline in every stack. I'm more of a waffle guy, and I know Keith Wilson is, but then we had, of course, our favorite. We had our favorite freaking Buddy Holly impersonator over here. Regular pancakes only, no fascist pancake. She decided to post this at our Rotary Club pancake breakfast. I mean,
that takes a lot of class.
Exactly, absolutely ridiculous. You had Heather McPherson, the freaking NDP MP. Jack made a good point here. Reason 6,335,700,078 why the NDP should never be taken seriously as a political party. I mean, I guarantee her house has a particular aroma of cat piss. This is crazy cat lady. And of course, Aunt Janice, NDP pancake and waffle mix, retard pancakes. Just add fentanyl.
Yeah,
good
there
stuff.
You go. Gotta love it.
Michaela Resist. She went from like 30 followers to 599. This is a screen grab I got.
Oh wow, today. Nice boost.
Yeah, crushing it, Michaela. Have fun at your the next parent teacher interviews when someone's gonna recognize you and realize, why is this whack job teaching my kids? You, ma'am, are this week's Freedom Honey Douche of the Week. That's Mike approved, Derek approved, everyone in the chat approved. The internet went wild. Screw your fascist pancakes. Screw you for having your little fit. I didn't want to actually bring her on because I didn't want to bring more attention to it, but I had to get it out of my way because the whole thing was just ridiculous. And we'll go from there.
You know what she can do?
Go ahead and call your dads, tell them about your alternative lifestyle as a gay communist, and then who knows, maybe eat a lollipop. I don't know what flamers do with their time, but I'd imagine it's something along those lines.
Yeah, get her out of the classroom. You don't want her teaching your kids.
I mean, I don't even understand. Like, you wanted your clickbait moment. Like, everybody knows that's all she did it for. She doesn't care.
Oh, you want to talk about clickbait moments? We should talk about this clickbait moment because I've seen people making videos about this. I didn't want to because it's a waste of time. Has everybody seen this yet? The Good Life Fitness idiot.
This guy pisses me off.
Maxime Bernier. A Sikh man is expelled from a gym for wearing his kirpan. He films his expulsion and denounces it as a racist act. Are you in favor of banning it in public places? Yes, because this is Canada. This isn't the Middle East.
I agree. I don't want some juice monkey, that's all freaking hepped up on creatine to sit there with brandishing a sword and at my local Good Life. Well, I'm sitting there.
I want to see footage in gyms over in the Middle East with these guys wearing these while working out, because I guarantee you this idiot went to the gym and did this on purpose so he could get his 15 minutes, so he could film this. He's no different than those super hoes that go to the gym and film themselves doing squats, and then they look at guys, they're like, why are you staring at me? And they do it on purpose. It's rage baiting. This guy did it just so he could say, hey, look, I'm in Canada, I'm not white, and I'm prosecuted or persecuted for my religious beliefs. Everybody should bend their will to my whim. That's all this was. Watch how he reacts.
He wasn't even a member. He got a day pass. Like, he clearly went there.
That's my point exactly. That's my point exactly. This was all a setup. He did it on purpose. And apparently the employee was fired. Now I'm hearing she was not fired, which is good because I'd be calling for a ban.
The outrage over the internet about this, and it was 99% of people felt bad for the employee. Like, obviously this guy's walking around and people are going to complain to the staff, and it's, by the sounds of her when she was talking, she seemed like a, younger female. Got to go up to this guy, big juice monkey, filming himself working out like a loser. And she has to go up and say, yeah, exactly. Has to go up to him and be like, excuse me, sir, like, you can't walk around brandishing your sword. And then he starts, oh, it's my right. It's my freaking, it's absolute garbage. This needs to change. This needs to change. I'm sorry. As a white European ancestor male, I should be able to walk around with like battle axes, halbertons, crossbows, whatever the hell I feel like it, because it's my heritage.
I seen Society Unveiled, is it? He posted a picture and said, I'm in Nova Scotia. Can I go out like this? And it was a guy with a broadsword and a kilt. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, well, you might as well, right?
Why not?
Let's take a look here.
So you're kicking me out of the gym right now. Wait, you're kicking me out of the gym right now because you are scared that I'm gonna take my religious symbol. So you're scared that I'm gonna take this religious symbol and kill somebody.
What I'm saying is you have a weapon on your person. A member has brought it to my attention, and for the safety of me and everybody else in the gym, I'm asking you to leave.
But, well, I don't understand though. I don't understand.
We're a private gym. We're allowed to deny access, and you're not allowed to.
But you allowed me in the you allowed me in the gym with the sun. Oh, you didn't see it. So you didn't see it.
No.
So what were you doing then? So what do you do? What do they pay you?
Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's such a waste. But do you hear? He sounds really triggered, doesn't he, folks? This is all rehearsed. He knew what he was going to say. He knew what he was going to say. It's all a setup. It's all part of the grift. It's all part of his 15 minutes to get on camera. There was a video of him working out.
He's had reaction videos since this, and he's just been complaining and complaining and complaining. The one thing I'm very proud of society, like, everyone rallied behind the employee, because she even said, she's like, I've had complaints, like, I'm like, people don't feel comfortable you sitting there with freaking, armed to the teeth, essentially. And then he's like, oh, it's a religious item. I'm like, screw it.
Wait, why is that audio playing?
You're kicking me out of the gym right now.
I hate that X has this new thing where if you even scroll a little bit down, like,
because
look at that. I muted it.
I
muted it, and it's still playing this nonsense.
Scared that I'm going to take my religious...
Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear him anymore, to be honest.
Okay. Watch him working out here. Like, tell me this is somebody who's working out seriously while he's got his little knife around his waist. Here we go. Yeah, I don't even want his music in there. Like, look at this workout. Does that look like a serious workout?
Does he have any plates on that?
No. Like, you ever hear about, you ever watch gym fails on YouTube? If you ever watch gym fails on YouTube, here, look at your snatch, bad acting from a bad actor and blood guilt scumbag. Yeah, that nails it.
Exactly. At the end of the day, this is like our country wasn't based on your religious belief. Our country was based on, like, Anglo-Christian beliefs. And, we've been very welcoming. We've been very accepting. But at the end of the day, it's a private gym. It's a private business. People go there to work out. And like I said, you got this guy acting like a complete idiot walking around, like I said, with his religious sword. Like, I'm sorry, if you're taking working out seriously, you're not sitting there freaking strapped, essentially.
Literally strapped. Like, what are we doing as a society? Like, I got to be careful because of C9 again, because they're going to say I'm inciting hate. I'm saying, as a society, like, does this seem normal to anybody? Does this seem reasonable to anybody that a man should be working out with a knife? Even if I was to carry one around on my person, or a handgun, or a broadsword, or whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't be working out with it.
No.
It would get in the way. Like,
put it in the locker. They provide lockers. Like,
I can't anymore. I just can't anymore. I just don't. The fact that there's people that sympathize with this man and say, oh, that's okay. Why aren't you guys being more tolerant? Why can't you just be nice? Why can't you just accept his religious belief? Shut up. You're ruining this country. You're literally ruining this country. Shut the hell up. Unbelievable. Let him come work out at your house with his dagger.
Well, I was it a few months ago when I was doing one of the gun shows, a bunch of Sikh guys came in and they were all carrying swords and stuff like that. I'm like, and then the first thing that one of the other gun vendors says is like, kind of morons come to a gun show with like, come to a, who shows up with swords at a gun show?
Yeah.
But it's just, like I said, it's them pushing it and trying to get it more and more. It's, like I said, it's the takeover. It's the takeover. That's all it is.
There's Michael Trader, our new ringtone, flock your fascist pancakes. I'm in. I'm down. Alberta Radio with a $5 Alberta Independence. Let's go. Thank you so much. You got Matt coming in with $10. I'd be more inclined to believe them on the fact that it's religious and not a weapon if there weren't so many documented instances of them stabbing people with them. That's a good point. Humble Hungarian with a $5 super. I'm so excited for independence. Going to grab my katana and get some reps in at Good Life. This is where we are. Stop the bus. I want off. I agree.
I don't see the Japanese guys walking around with freaking, full-size katanas and
katana blades. It is my religious beliefs.
I'm just gonna put my katana on my back while I hit the next spin class. Like, come on.
Yeah, give me a break. Ali with a $5 super. Only in Canada you'll be arrested for carrying blades of any size or form in Iran. Muslim praying in public is to tell Westerners that you're conquered. Of course it is. Mr. Biggs, $5 super. I should go to Good Life Fitness with a bearded axe and throw some axes. They are from my Norse heritage. There you go. Well, if they were to allow that, then yes. If they were to allow the man with the dagger, I'm saying, then yes. Carnage, $2 super. Time we start a new religion. Praise the Glock. Well, Steve, you can't put those things in there. I'm going to get trouble.
Guys,
C9.
I don't want to get banned. We got a campaign to win here.
We got to be careful. Mike, what else do we have?
All right. Speaking of careful, guys, this is kind of your message, important notice.
Yes.
This is an important one that I just want to get through. We have a fairly large audience here, guys. If Elections Alberta sends you a message, please confirm your real. Right now, they're verifying the signatures for the petition that everyone signed, and it was beautiful and everything like that. But Keith brings it out here. Elections Alberta has begun calling and texting statistical samples of Albertans who signed the independence referendum petition. If contacted, please respond promptly, politely, and accurately. Elections Alberta threats. Alberta treats the verifications like an example. They're calling to confirm whether your answer was in the written petition confirming your name, address, and city. An incorrect answer can invalidate your signature. Writing can be threatened, and roughly 700 signatures being disqualified. So, guys, this is very important. If you guys get a message, just respond, be nice, prove you're real, because it'll help the numbers. Because right now they're attacking us, trying to with the whole Centurion project and the list and like that. They're trying to get this whole petition thrown out. They're exact. So we need to show them that the 300,000 people that signed the petition are real, actual people. And then we can say that, hey, this is a massive number here.
Lori Jean saying, I don't recall giving them my number. It was on the form. It was on the form. It was a requirement. They do have your number. D. Robert, what is a penis mightier? I've never seen those. Is that a weird device? A penis mightier?
Is mightier than the sword.
The penis mightier? I've never heard of those.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure you answer the call. Make sure you answer the call, folks. I put it in today's video, and somebody in the comments said, oh, I thought it was an unlisted number. I don't care. I'm not answering it anyways. And I said, don't invalidate 700 signatures because you want to stick it to the man. This is the one time. If you're going to answer your phone, I know people don't like answering spam calls. I don't either. I've answered 3 today, 3 spam calls, but I'm doing it until they're done verifying the signatures to make sure I'm not responsible for invalidating up to 700 signatures. I don't want to do that. With all the hard work our volunteers put in, just answer your phone, be nice, be cordial if they call, go through the process so we can get our votes counted. Don't let your pride get in the way of this, folks.
And then you can email them and ask them to check Thomas Lukaszik's TPA numbers.
Yes. Yes.
All right. And finally, I got this one. This is all right. So this from the CBC itself. Alberta municipalities can't campaign for or against separatism. Here's why. Elections Alberta rules forbid mayors and councillors from raising money for referendum ads. Now, I know Jeremy Farkas, or as I refer to him as the Riddler Diddler, because I'm sorry, they're all Batman villains at this point. Knack is like the gay Lex Luthor. You got Farkas. I mean, they're all weird. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell is wrong with the big cities and electing very weird mayors. But yeah, I know Farkas is going nuts on X right now, trying to come up with stats and trying to, just fear monger and fake propaganda. And he's been just getting called out left and right by the multiple TPAs and, followers and stuff like that. This is exactly what's the problem, is that at the end of the day, this is a grassroots movement. This is a grassroots campaign. Hate Lukaszik for as much as you want. At the end of the day, I mean, he's not a politician right now. He's doing this on his volition, and so are we. So that they got to keep even Danielle Smith, I got to admit, has taken a step back, and she's kind of just, we'll see where the chips will lay.
Yep. Now, Ivy Hayes says 700 will it invalidate 700? Yes. Mike just showed you on the tweet. Keith Wilson had posted it. What happens is if enough people don't answer, they count it as a sample size and can invalidate up to 700 signatures as a sample size. So make sure you're answering the call. It's not just your vote that they count out if you don't.
A good example of that is the Water Not Cold petition that they just did with Corb Lund. He lost the threshold because they invalidated so many signatures that he didn't hit the threshold.
Yep. Humble Hungarian $5 super. We finally received our flagpoles today and now have 2 big, blue, beautiful Alberta flags flying high on the front of our house. So proud to be Albertan. I'm proud of you for doing that. Thank you so much for sticking your neck out for Alberta. Teresa with a $5 super. Lukaszik's petition did not have phone numbers. So why are they not checking our petition the same way they did Tommy's? Double standards. I don't know. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, folks, we already know they're not going to be fair with us like they are with everybody else. We already know that they're going to bend the rules for those guys. Just do your due diligence. Just answer the bloody phone. If you got in line in the middle of winter to go sign a form, you can pick up the phone when they call. That easy. Michael Drader with a $2 super. Mike, they enjoy being Canada's sanitation napkin. Well,
I believe it. I just, like looking at all these like elbows up video and looking at what's going on with the Forever campaign. Like I was talking to Sheila Gunn-Reid earlier tonight. It's the people you think would be there. It's the civil servants that are retired, that have a cushy lifestyle, that they paid off their houses, they got their pensions. And at the end of the day, these people are selfish. They don't care. They don't care about the future of this province. They don't care about their children. They don't care about their grandkids. They just see it as I got what I got and screw the rest of you guys.
Yep.
And then you got everyone else, everyone in this community, all the TPA, everyone working their butts off to promote this message and talk to folks about it. This is why they're so scared, because this is a truly grassroots movement. This is normal people stepping up, because they care about the future of their friends, their families, their children, their neighbors, and they want the best.
Phoebe Long, the actual quote is the penis mightier than the sword. Yeah, penis mightier. What's a penis mightier?
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
I don't know. What if you're not home when they phone? You can't call them back. They do leave you a message, I believe, or they try to call again.
Who has a phone? Who has a home phone?
Somebody asked this in the chat today. Question: what happened if I just changed my number? Call Elections Alberta. Call Elections Alberta and let them know I signed the petition. I've changed my number. What do I have to do? I don't know what you have to do. I am pretty omnipotent when it comes to things, but I am not the be all end all. Folks, call Elections Alberta and don't let your signature go down the shitter. Okay? If you've changed your number, if you've moved, if any of your information has changed, call Elections Alberta. The last thing you want is them turning around saying, well, yeah, they did meet the threshold. However, we had to invalidate so many signatures because people got lazy. People didn't want to talk to us. People changed their information and didn't contact us. These are very simple things to handle, folks. Please call Elections Alberta if anything's changed. Ali with a $5 super. U.S. Persians have been warning the West, especially Canadians, for years about Islam, communism. Guess what they've been calling us? Yeah, but nobody listens. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that this is happening. They've opened the floodgates. You know, they're trying to dilute the population.
I'm not going to keep fighting with you about the penis, my dear. It's
oh my God.
I just want to know what it is. I just want to know what it is. That's it. Oh,
sorry.
Listen, can we talk about the balls that I cup apparently on this channel? Let's talk about President Trump. Somebody came in and said it the other day. You're always cupping President Trump's balls, you stupid loser. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because President Trump actually does his job. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order that will impose tariffs of 50% on a wide range of Canadian exports, dramatic ramping up of the trade war against his northern neighbor. The 50% rate is being imposed in response to what a senior administration official described as Canada's retaliation against the U.S. trade policy and its discrimination against U.S. motor vehicles, dairy, and alcohol. So we knew about that. But here's where I had a problem with it. Doug Ford came out. Oh, this fucking audio every time. I don't like that X does that. They got to fix that.
Yeah, they had a big update and it's just been causing issues.
Here's what Doug Ford had to say about the tariffs. Let's take a look.
Because you got me on a roll right now. With all the assets the U.S. has, and he's sitting there complaining, why don't you send up some water bombers? Why don't you start helping us like we would help you in a heartbeat? And we looked on the national data sheet down there, and I had to double check it because I find it astounding that they said over 40,000 fires. That's ridiculous. And I double checked if there was extra zeros in there. But anyways, you should support your neighbors. That's my message to the president.
So he stands there bad mouthing them and then says, yeah, but you should support your neighbors. I want to remind everybody, please go and watch the video I put out just before the stream. We did put out a video about this. Your support is very much necessary to be a success for that video. Check out this bit. You got Doug Ford smacking around Trump with his words, and you got this lady and this guy, whoever they are, smiling and laughing in the background. This is why President Trump isn't helping you. This is why he isn't helping you, because you're smug, egotistical pricks.
Yeah. I mean,
because he doesn't have to.
You spent the last year attacking the guy. You spent, you shut the booze down. You've been attacking insult the Reagan ads during the Super Bowl. Like, what, you nuts? And now you're asking for help and you're angry that he's angry at you because all the crap you've been doing. I mean, I'm sorry, Ontario. This is your guy. This is the guy.
This is the guy.
And Carney's sitting there with his little puppet strings telling him what to do. This is all planned. They want this country to go to shit.
And it goes beyond that.
That's why they're freaking out right now.
It goes out beyond that because I highlighted this during the same video. Go and watch the video after the stream, folks. I'll never stop fighting to protect Ontario. If these tariffs proceed, Canada should respond tariff for tariff, dollar for dollar. You should just help your neighbors, right, Doug? And he puts that out immediately following that press conference. So here we go again, folks. Here we go again. Tariff threats, trade wars, all over again. While Mark Carney said the first time he was going to get a deal with Donald Trump. How lovely do you think your life is about to become in Canada? How expensive do you think it's about to become? I'll tell you right now, if Dane Lloyd shows up at my door and says, "Hi, I'm just here to talk to you about why you got Alberta signs all over your lawn," I'm going to give him the finger and tell him, "Why don't you take this for a ride?" How dare you show up in this province and tell me you want to know why I want to leave when this is the kind of failed leadership, bogus bullshit you've got running around our country? And I don't just do that for Alberta, folks. That's for every Canadian living in this country that didn't vote with their elbows up. I'm so sick and tired of these left woke idiots with TDS ruining life for the rest of us. Again, the question you have to ask yourself right now, if you're in this great province that I am, is can Alberta do better? Take back control, ladies and gentlemen. Take back control from your corrupt governments. Take back control from your corrupt provincial governments. Take back control from scandalous spending. Take back control of your policies, your freedom of speech, your rights to defend yourself. Take back control of your lives and stop bending down for politicians that are just here for their checks. There it is, $10 butter. There's a revolution coming. Panina, I wanted to bring this up. $5 super. Have you looked into why the Buck You Will is banned on X? I'd really like to see the guy have his account back. A lot of people thought it was because of C9. That's not a government infringement. That's X policy. So I don't know what got him banned, what he posted that got banned. It wasn't because of C9.
Yeah, he's does a lot of spicy posts, so it wouldn't shock me if he got reported.
Yeah. Trevor with the $5. So they're leaving messages if I missed their call. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody said they were. Others said you have to call them back. So I'm not 100% on that, Trevor. Best to just answer the phone if it rings.
Yeah, put in the work, because at the end of the day, we have to show that those numbers were legit.
It's only for a couple of weeks, and that's what I keep telling, because there's people who say I don't like answering scam calls. I don't either. Every time they call, I always say do not redeem, and I joke around with them. I tell them to get out of the country. I have fun with it. You guys should do the same. I'm sure it just pisses them off. But at the end of it all, folks, it's for a couple of weeks. If you get that phone call, if that phone call comes through, you're going to be happy that you picked up your phone.
Helping the cause. We are, it is sad the way the country is going right now. I mean, you've got the great master debater that we elected as Carney. And
has
he done anything? Absolutely not. Everything he's done is completely destroyed.
Oh,
and he's just draining.
He's done lots. He's done lots for himself. He's done a lot for Brookfield. He's done a lot for Westinghouse. He's done a lot for his buddies. He's done a lot for Ukraine. Hasn't done much for us. In fact, he hasn't done anything for us.
Did you see the video of the woman in Poilievre's old riding that regretted voting for Fanjoy? Because she's like, Carney has done absolutely nothing for us. She's like, I'm a diehard liberal. I voted for Bruce Fanjoy thinking that he was gonna, the liberals were gonna fix the problem and everything like that. And she's like, I did, like, straight up, I drank the Kool-Aid. And she's like, I regret my vote. I can't believe this is happening right now. Everything's getting harder. Everything's getting more expensive. They're like I said, and even the Bank of Canada just came out with the new interest rate. It's that 3.5%. You guys have to look at it this way. The interest rate is kind of the defining factor of where we are as a country. If we desperately do need to raise interest rates to lower the inflation. But right now, if they do that, they're going to collapse the housing market. And sadly, our entire GDP right now is essentially run on Canadians buying and selling inflated properties to each other. If they lower the interest rate, we create hyperinflation, and then you get your $10 butter, and then you just destroy the economy the other way. We're screwed.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, I will lose all faith in humanity if Alberta fails this vote in October. I will literally just wave the white flag and say, I can't live in a land full of retards anymore. I just can't. I don't know what to do. I don't understand how anybody with any sense of a brainstem could look at what's going on right now and say, this is fine. It'll be okay. I still run into people who say, just vote for Pierre. He'll fix it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you for real? And even if we wanted to vote for Pierre, that's 3 years away. You're telling me you want to put up with this for another 3 years instead of 3 months? Oh, give me a break. Holy crap.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to pull a pleb and disappear. Hey, listen, I'm not sensitive and running away every time something gets on my nerves. I'm here, folks, for the long haul. The only way I'm leaving is if they pull me out of here, if they ban me off the platform.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's probably going to happen. I guarantee you, when we get close to the vote, the laws are going to come in. They're going to just start attacking everyone because they're going to want to shut us up because the movement is growing. People are getting more amped up, more excited. The telethon proved it. They're scared. They are running 100% scared right now. And for you guys out there for sharing this stuff and liking this stuff and talking about this stuff with your friends and pushing it, because at the end of the day, you guys are the foot soldiers. We're just here to help share the message. And you guys are going out there, putting in the work, grabbing the lawn signs, and not being afraid to show your support for Alberta independence as we continue on this crazy roller coaster that has never been seen before in human history.
Here's Carol. Do you know when they're going to start calling? No, I don't know all of these things. And they didn't really give everybody a schedule. That's kind of the whole point of how they check these. If they told people when they were going to call, then if people were illegitimate, they'd wait by their phones and they'd get it. The whole point of them doing it randomly is that they just call what they've already started making the calls.
Yeah.
So until you see an announcement that the signatures have been verified, be prepared to answer your phone. If somebody makes sure Alberta independence fails, you guys can come down here. I'd love to. I can't afford to. No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. If I sold my house in Alberta right now, I lose 30% as soon as I come over the border to the US dollar. I wouldn't be able to afford to buy a house in America. I wouldn't be able to afford to get an immigration lawyer and wait 16 months and pay $30,000 to get a 5-year stay in the United States. See, the United States actually gives a shit about who comes over the border and who comes into the country. And I'll tell you what I will do. I'll offer up my passport, my wife's passport, my kids' passports for an American family who is left-leaning, who wants to come to Canada, who has 3 kids. We'll happily exchange. If they want to exchange, we'll just do a little swap. We'll do a swap.
No, this is why this is so important. This is this is why they're so scared, because I mean, that's the thing. Like, talking to Keith, he brought up a good point. He's like, there's 30% of the population that are completely focused on independence. You know what I mean? That are completely in on the message.
Isn't Detroit like one of the most crime-riddled cities in the United States? You can buy a house in Detroit for super cheap. No, I don't want to live in Detroit. We'd want to live in like Texas or Florida.
Yeah, that's I don't know if that's an upgrade.
No.
But yeah, like I said, there was 30% of the population that is pro-independence. You got 30% of the population that are elbows up and are never going to move from that. They're the diehards. They're sunken in. They're the pensioners. They're the people that are like, no, I have it easy. I have money. I don't care what happens. And then you've got the other, 30-40% of the 40% of the population that, I'm sorry, these are the people that don't even know who the premier is. These are the people that are disconnected. And these are the people, I'm sorry, you guys need to talk to. You got to get out there and talk to them. If someone's like, I don't get involved in politics or something like that, I'm like, we are literally trying to leave the country here to build a new nation. So this is important that you guys go out and talk to these people and get them informed and tell them what they're looking at.
Vinny's saying, so it's boom or bust? Yes, pretty
100%,
much.
100%.
Pretty much. Here's the thing I said in the live stream on Saturday of the telethon. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You literally have the option here to take a different path. For all the people who say, oh, we'll just wait for the next election. Oh, the Liberals will be gone eventually. You can just wait for that. How has it worked out for us so far? Even when the Conservatives were in power, how many things benefited Alberta or the West when they were in power, when Stephen Harper was in office? Nothing. Nothing. You literally have the chance to do something different. Don't pass it up because of foolish pride or fear of the unknown. It's scary to go into business for yourself. It's scary to say, I'm prepared to get off the treadmill and try it on my own. The difference with Alberta, folks, If we're talking about going into business for ourselves as a country, we know the numbers. We know what we're capable of. We know what we're able to bring to the table, what we can achieve. We know that leverage becomes a big part of this game once we leave Confederation and continue to work with provinces like British Columbia and the rest of Canada. It's no longer asking for permission. It's leverage that we have over all of them. If you want to stay viable, you need to work with us, not the other way around. And while we're doing that, folks, we get to keep all of our money. Somebody please tell me where this is a bad decision. Somebody tell me where this is bad for us in the future.
And to the people out east, the people in Ontario, the people watching from Ontario, the people from watching some of the other provinces, us leaving is probably the best thing that could ever happen to you guys, because it will light a fire under their asses and implement change. They'll understand that, hey, the credit card's gone. We need to tighten up the belt. We need to figure out what we're doing here. And it'll start bringing a lot of accountability to the government, because the people are going to be like, whoa, why did they leave? What's going on? And then even like I said, that 40% of people that are disconnected are going to start asking questions. And that's what we want for the rest of the country.
There's Cindy saying all government will never change. Is their way. It's their way of life and their livelihood. And that's just it. It's all they care about is themselves. Pierre, for those who are team Pierre, like, answer me this. He's coming down here now to say we should listen to Albertans. Why weren't you here listening to Albertans when you were laughing on Joe Rogan saying it's not going to happen? Why weren't you listening to Albertans a couple of years ago? Even a year ago at this time, when Danielle Smith warned of a unity crisis, if laws weren't changed. Nobody came here to listen to us then. Pierre didn't stick around Battle River Crowfoot and listen to his constituents. He got elected. He fucked off. He went back to Parliament Hill, and then he sold his office and said he's not going to run there in the next election and gave the seat back to Damian Keurig.
Exactly.
And you're going to tell me he gives a shit about Albertans?
Here's a great example.
He cares about where he came from?
We had towns in my writing, and his writing flood a couple of weeks ago, like serious damage. And like towns flooded, septic systems were completely backfilled. You had mayors asking for help from the provincial government. You had Danielle Smith go to Tollfield, which is a town of like 5,000 people, to go there and help with sandbags and to see if she could bring more help in and more suck trucks and stuff like that. All he did was a stupid tweet.
A tweet. Real powerful, guys. And this is where I'm saying it's not him as a person. It's the fact that this is the system showing you in real time. It doesn't work. It's a failed experiment. They don't care once they have their job. I've used the analogy a million times over that they're just like the cell phone companies. They lock you into a contract, then they disappear, and every time you have a problem, they tell you, oh, nothing we can do about it. But when that contract's about to go up again and they need you to buy another phone, they need you to sign for another 2 or 3 years, oh, they're your best friend. They come right to your door. Oh, please give us another shot. Get another deal. Oh, we'll discount your bill. We'll give you a discount on the handset. We'll give you the newest phone for a cheaper price. Politicians literally are doing the same thing. Oh, we care. Oh, we're here. Oh, Pierre's coming here at the 11th hour, 3 months before we're making a vote. After he laughed and said it'll never happen. And he expects us to sit and say, oh, thank you, Pierre, for gracing us with your presence. Thank you for being so concerned about us. And as soon as he gets in his bus or his SUV and he drives off, he doesn't think about nothing that you said to him. He doesn't care. He says, where are we going next? What's next on the agenda? That's their job. You don't matter to them. So why do we just suckle their teeth so hard and say, oh, let's worship them. Let's praise them. Let's put them up on a pedestal. Let's worship them being prime ministers or anything else. If they're not going to do their job, get out of here. Any of them.
It's frustrating because you look at the way that everything's happening. You see the deficits going up. I mean, since the Liberals come into power, they've doubled the national debt. So you want to know where your inflation's coming from? They're literally printing out checks that their asses can't cash. It's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. All these little big projects that he's planned is just going to suck the piggy bank dry. Everything's going to get more expensive, and I'm sorry, we're done. Alberta's done. I'm completely sick and tired of this. I want out.
Here's Mr. Alberta. Americans, time to get Trump to make the immigration blue card for Albertans to immigrate if independence fails. Oh, I wish. I wish.
Mr. Alberta, we need you. We need you. We need you here to fight off the elbows.
Yep. Here's Bronson. Canadians are stupid. Listen, I've seen plenty of stupid Americans too. So don't even. And I'm sure my American viewers can agree. Plenty of stupid Americans. San Francisco comes to mind. You know, Summer of Love.
LA. Yeah.
Jan 6th. Like, those who complain about it. I mean, come on. CNN. Alberta First gifted 10 unacceptable fringe memberships to the Patriots Club. Thank you so much for your generosity. How many people does Asmund Gold showcase that are from America and stupid? I mean, every country has stupid people. Statistically, folks, 68% of the population is legally retarded. I don't know if you know that. That's not me being sarcastic. That's an actual statistic.
Yeah. I think they even came out, what was the numbers, that only 40% of Canadians pay taxes? There you go.
It's 60%, I believe. Yeah, and 60% pay nothing at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I had it on a past video.
Yeah.
I know
so
that.
here's my question. Are we doing good? Has your life been better in the last 15 years? Or has your life slowly sucked more ever since 2015-ish? Like, you looked at everything that went through the window. You look at what happened during COVID. And I look at like what Tamara Leach did. So here's a great example of someone that was the most patriotic woman I've ever met in my life. She was all, red and white. And the convoy, everybody went there and truly believed what Canada was, the idea of it, the people, the culture, and everything like that. And look what they did to her. Look what they did to Chris Barber. Look what they did to Chris Scott. Even Keith was attacked. Everybody was attacked because of that, because people united together in a message that, hey, we're tired of you guys tromping on our rights. Now we're at a point where we realize that with the weaponization of the system, now with these new censorship laws coming out, now that we're going to be attacked left, right, and center, eventually this channel is going to get kicked off the internet. Everyone else is. They're going to try and shut us up. What are we fighting for? What's left in this country except for a vast amount of resources that they'll never let us extract and make money off of?
Humble Hungarian with a $10. Why do you cup Trump berries? At least Trump has berries. We've all seen Carney dance in the street of the parade. It's unreal how much censorship is going on now. You can't type anything. I get it. I hear you. Carson El Gringo Grande. If Alberta doesn't leave, Canada becomes the 51st state. I mean, I'd be okay with that. If it means getting rid of Parliament or the House of Commons, I mean, yeah, I'm okay with it. Steve Jensen, $2 super. Even Harper screwed the West. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And people are like, somebody yelled at me when I made that comment last week in a video, and they're like, just what exactly did Harper do? Well, he changed the temporary foreign worker program to the masterpiece that it is today. He allowed for all of that nonsense, folks. He basically let China into our backyard before Justin Trudeau got here. So, yeah, they don't give a damn. They're here for them. They're not here for you. This is why I said, when it comes to the dairy cartels, comes to everything, Trump should put 200% tariffs on everything. Just obliterate Canada. Just get it over with. Like a Band-Aid, just rip it off.
Well, I think it if anything, I mean, these tariffs hopefully people will start to wake up and be like, but that's the problem. The problem is the Trump derangement syndrome is so ingrained with people that, oh, this is all Trump's fault. I'm like, guys aren't who's the baddies in this? You should ask yourself. Is it us?
Anytime I hear that, I just say you're a special kind of stupid. You obviously don't know anything. Tommy Guns, your house will drop a third of its worth if it becomes 51st. Good. I'm not planning to move, so why do I care?
I like my swamp.
I was comfortable paying what I paid for my house, and I don't care. The value of my house doesn't matter unless I'm going to sell it. It doesn't matter. And it's worth what someone's willing to pay. If I feel that it's not worth selling at whatever the market is, I don't move. It's that easy. And when you put things like that, and I understand the warning, I'm not downplaying the warning. What I'm saying is that That's the kind of fear that the government pushes when they say investment will leave, jobs are going to leave, your house is going to lose value. We don't even know what currency we're going to use. Your pension's going to suffer. All these fear things that they drop in to get you to be hesitant when you're standing at the edge, about to make the plunge with that vote. They want you to be so scared that things aren't going to change for your betterment that you'll back up and stay with the status quo. We cannot stay with the status quo in October. We have to take back control.
We will be the third largest reserve of oil on the planet with the smallest population. And not that includes all of our agricultural wealth, our manufacturing capabilities. We will be one of the most powerful countries in the world, like per capita. And I mean, there's literally nothing to lose here. The country is going like this, and we're saying, hey, let's get off the lifeboat while the Titanic's going down, and we'll just build a bigger, better boat and take over the ocean.
Yep. Humble Hungarian with a $5 super of a 19-bedroom paid mansion for, it doesn't say it all. We deserve everything we get. I agree. Thank you so much. Greg with 279. I'm almost at the top of my hill with this big stick. Yeah. We all are.
Q&A?
We'll do a little Q&A and then we'll wrap it up. We went a little overtime tonight, but that's okay. This community is worth it. Nillock with a $5. Don't know, we live in a stupid world. Don't know, we live in stupid world. You can't apply logic and expert to the locals to understand you. It just gets their elbows up. Well, because they're scared. These are, you know what? My father gets mad every time I tell him that his generation ruined the world for the rest of us. And they did. They did. And I'm sorry to our baby boomer generation audience. That generation completely tanked opportunities for future generations.
And guys,
when it comes to the spending, the interest rates,
and even look at this way. This is the one thing, like, I'm talking to my parents. I talked to my mom this morning, and even their retirement wealth is being affected by the decisions that are happening now. Like, dad was a teacher, so like he's got his pension, and then mom worked for an NGO. This is back in Ontario, and even then, things are getting more and more expensive. Taxes are going up. Everything is, and the cost of living. So I mean, they were kind of retirees, going to go travel around, do a bit of that, but they're like, now they got to tighten up their belt because everything is becoming more expensive, and it's not going to get any better. So the people that are sitting on their pennies, the cash that they've spent their whole life amalgamating, or you should be worried too, because eventually, that stipend you get every month from the government or whatever you get is just going to keep devaluing and devaluing and devaluing till you're going to be in a tight position like a lot of the rest of us.
Yeah, so just so people don't think I'm being stupid or biased when I say that the baby boomer generation ruined things for younger cohorts, it's because of visible economic divergences. Boomers entered adulthood during a period of strong wage growth, affordable housing, and education, and expanding opportunities. Then, as voters, homeowners, leaders, and consumers supported or benefit from policies and behaviors that made those same leaders harder for millennials, or the same ladders, harder for millennials and thus Gen Z. Meaning, when houses were built in the 1980s, and my father says this all the time. Oh, I sold my house for $1 in the 1980s because my mortgage was $2,000 a month in 1980. Could you imagine paying a mortgage when you look at inflation? He says that's like paying $8,000 now. Yes, but your money was worth more in the 1980s when you had a living wage. You could have somebody working a single job supporting their entire family. Money went further. Food was more affordable. Life was more affordable. The baby boomer generation took some of the biggest leaps and bounds when it came to their equity in their homes, when they've bought homes in the 1980s and 90s for an average of between $20,000 all the way up to maybe $200,000. Their houses all of a sudden went up to over $1 million overnight. And those people now turn around, people like my father, who say, listen, when I was your age, I had a second property. I had a vacation property. I had a boat. I had all this stuff. And you guys are just lazy. No, we're not. No. With our taxation and with the low cost of wage to the living ratio, we can't afford anything. People are paying their bills and they're broke.
We are actually working harder now than they did back in the day. I mean,
Charlie
the
says
idea
not true. I've got it pulled up right here. I've got it pulled up right here. Key reasons for the complaint. Boomers bought homes when prices were low relative to incomes, often 2 to 3 times median income in many areas. Home ownership rates for young adults were higher in their area. Many now own larger homes. Empty nesters hold a disproportionate share of 3+ bedroom houses. Resist new construction in their neighborhoods, not in my backyard, and benefit from zoning laws that limit supply. This drives up prices for buyers today, where median homes often exceed 5 to 7 times income in desirable areas. Boomers also make up a huge share of recent home buyers, often with cash or low rates, slowing turnover. When it comes to debt, national debt exploded under boomer-dominated politics, Reagan onward. Boomers cut taxes for themselves while expanding or protecting entitlements like Social Security and Medicare, which younger workers fund via payroll taxes amid longer retirements and fewer workers per retiree. Infrastructure, education, funding per pupil, and public investment lagged. Younger generations inherit higher debt to GDP and future tax burdens. When it comes to long-term issues, boomers oversaw peak post-World War II growth, but faced clear climate science by the 1990s and did relatively little. Critics point to short-term consumption focus over sustainability. Now, when it comes to cultural or individualism shift, some argue boomers champion me-first attitudes, breaking from greatest generation solidarity, embracing deregulation and privatization, leading to weaker social safety nets and family structures for later generations. So this isn't me picking you apart. If you're part of that baby boomer generation and saying, "Oh, you've ruined us," or "You're a terrible person," or I'm literally pointing the finger at every single boomer, I'm talking statistically about how the argument comes about that the baby boomer generation is blamed for ruining future generations. And it's one of the reasons I tell my father the same thing when he tells me I should be able to afford 2 vehicles, a vacation insurance, a large home, programs for my kids, $5,000 a year for my kid to play hockey. Like, oh, it shouldn't be anything. It should be without breaking a sweat. I was able to do it when you were a kid. Things were different. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I look at my parents. You know, my parents live in a suburb outside of Ottawa, and they started off, you know, I think in the 90s, they bought their house for a little over 200, and it's $1 million home now. And I'm like, you know, when you had a mortgage of, you know, what's a $200,000 house, like $1,000.
Yeah. My father bought the house that he lives in right now in Calgary in 2003 for $220,000. It's now worth close to $1 million. Like, and it's 23 years later, and it's close to $1 million.
Has wages gone up 6 times?
Nope.
You know, like, absolutely not. We're making less, and I mean, them importing all of the third world is causing wage suppression. Your wages aren't going up. Every year you're becoming poorer and poorer because inflation is not keeping up with the increase in wages. The minimum wage is still at $15 an hour in Alberta, and we're, like I said, people are going without. We're not nearly as comfortable as our parents were. You know, I remember growing up, it was,
and here it is.
Like, yeah, there it is.
Here it is. I'm an Alberta boomer. Yes, cost of everything was lower, but many of us were also very careful about how we handled our finances. How can we handle our finances today? That's my point. Explain that. When there's carbon taxes, when there's $700 utility bills, when there's $3,000 rent, $800 car payments. Christ, my insurance right now for 2 vehicles and a home is $10,200 a year. It's $900 a month. And I've called around because our term is about to expire. It doesn't get much cheaper. Part of that is because they made a mistake with some of our insurance, and there's nothing we can do for a couple of years. However, we have clean records, no claims, $900 a month. How could I be more careful about how I handle my finances when we pay for all of our bills and we're broke? That's the problem. And I'll tell you right now, if people say, well, then just don't buy multiple cars. Both of my cars are paid for. Yeah. I don't have any liens on my vehicles. Yet when we buy groceries, we have to watch, hey, we can't go over $200 because that'll break the bank. That's what I'm talking about. The difference is, somebody said, who wrote the article about those boomers? It wasn't an article. That was AI. That's why I literally asked AI, why do people say the baby boomer generation are the ones that destroyed it for future generations? That's what it brought up. And even Phoebe says it here. Rent is almost $2,000 a month. If you're lucky.
Yeah, no,
if you're lucky.
For an apartment.
I've seen, and who will be buying those $1 million houses, says Max. Go figure. I agree. I sat down with my 28-year-old daughter a couple weeks ago when she was visiting. She's about to get married in September. And she said to me, I will never own a house unless I can inherit one, because I can't afford it. And both her and her fiance have jobs. She says, we'll never own a home. We will never have kids because we can't afford to have kids. We don't want them living in squalor while we're going check to check.
You know, it's a lot of parents, what they want to do for their children is to be able to give that money for the down payment. And it used to be a lot more, it used to be a lot easier. You know, it was 10 grand or something like that. We get you a half decent house and your starter home, and it was doable. Now it's, oh, I need 100 grand. People just don't have that kind of cash. And
see, I love this. Oh yeah, you have a Camaro, it's expensive. No, the Camaro isn't the expensive part. I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what happened, because I don't want everybody coming after me in the comments. I know people are already going to come after me because I said the word boomers. It seems like other YouTube channels, when they say things, they can get away with whatever they say. I have to explain it for 7 years or people get their feelings hurt. My wife got her license in 2020. She always took the train to work. We always lived near a train. She commuted without having to worry about a car. And once we had our third child, she said, I'm probably going to have to drive to doctor's appointments, do things like that. I got to get a license. When she got her license, I called my insurance company and said, put her on the insurance. They said, okay. They put her on the insurance. And every year we just got our renewal forms. We always just signed on DocuSign over our phones. They sent us new papers. We paid our premiums, thought everything was great and grand. When we moved to Spruce Grove and had to change our address, the first question they asked me was, are you going to be putting your wife on her insurance as a primary driver? And I said, yeah, I already did that back in 2020. Oh, no, you didn't. You just said add her to the insurance. So they didn't give her the insurance I asked them to give her. So what they're doing now is saying she's only had insurance for a year. So they're charging us $1 million a month, like she's 15 years old or 16 with a brand new license. So we're paying $900 a month. The insurance company doesn't want to rectify their mistake. They've just told me to shut up and deal. So it has nothing to do with a Camaro. It has nothing to do with the car being expensive. It has to do with insurance companies finding ways to put their hands in your pockets and take your money. This is what private insurance does. It's a scam. And if you dare use your insurance, if you get into an accident, guess what they do, folks? They raise your rates. And that was the part of this phone call when I called them and said, I can't pay $900 a month. This is astronomical. It's ridiculous. They said to me, oh, well, that was just this year's rates. Your rates renew in August. They're probably going up again. Oh, good. Why is that? Oh, because there's been a lot of claims from foreign drivers, meaning East Indian truckers and people who are crashing their vehicles all over the highway. I'm paying $900 a month because of what they do in my country. Not because I drive a Camaro.
No, and I mean everyone's being frugal right now. Like I said, I don't see anybody on my Facebook taking holidays. I don't see even yourself. Like, you know, your vehicles are bought and paid for. Me, I drive an old pickup truck and I use it for work. My wife, she's got a newer vehicle, but that's because we needed something reliable. Like I said, it's, you know, we both work. We both, you know, she's got multiple incomes, and then I'm the breadwinner in the family. And even us, every month we have to sit down and do a budget because times are tight. There's no, like I said, we'll never be able to take a vacation. You know, we still have work to do on the house. It's just, you know, you're trying to figure out, okay, well, we got to put money aside to try to fix the house. We got, you know, taxes went up this year. Everything's, our credit cards are not looking pretty. And it's just the way it is. Everyone right now is essentially broke. You know, like my wife does a lot of gun shows and she does a lot of markets, and people just aren't spending money anymore compared to that they used to. People don't have disposable income. And you think it's going to get any better, people? You think this is all of a sudden just some magic pipeline's going to get built, and next thing you know, you'll all be rolling in the dough? No. Every year we've become poorer and poorer and poorer, and the government just keeps taking and taking and taking. And eventually there'll be nothing left. And that's where, like what Snatch says, you'll hit the $10, $10 butter revolution, where you're gonna be broke. They're gonna, and then you're not gonna have anything left. Even the medical system, like we get a lot of flack here for our medical system being shit. Well, guess what? It's shit everywhere. My mother just had a terrible an accident a couple weeks ago. She waited in an ER. They had to call the ambulance. She had to wait in an ER for 16 hours in Ottawa. 16 hours before she could see a doctor with a massive gash on her leg.
Oh, but Mike, it's free health care.
Like I was furious when she told me this today. I was upset. I'm like if you would have called, I would have, it would have been easier to go to the States, pay for private health care, and then drive back.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it, and we're done. I mean, and this is why everyone I've talked to, we go to the events, and you hear the stories of people that saying, I'm on my last leg. My credit cards are maxed out. I'm living beyond paycheck to paycheck. I'm going to lose my house. They're going to repo my car. I can't afford the minimum payments. I've had people come up to me and say, I've had to lapse my insurance because I can't even make the payments anymore. Like, I'm driving illegally right now. This is what's happened, people. And this is why, like Derek makes a big stink about, like the boomers did this and everything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. The boomers did a lot for the world, technological advances and the way our society is built. Don't get me wrong. There was a lot of good there. But you look at the difference between how much our generation, like I'm 40 next month. And I look at what's happening now with our generation and how my friends have to struggle. And I've got friends of mine in Ontario that are like, I can't make ends meet. I have friends of mine that are doctors. Some of them are nurses and stuff like that. And they even said, they're like, we have to budget every single penny that we spend. We don't have extra income. And they're living beyond their means. And most of this is happening for all of us. And this is what and if this is the only way out we can see right now is to get out of this country, because we don't see it. You go to the States, everything's like, we were looking just as a whim. We looked at houses in Texas. I can move my trade down there and stuff like that. You can buy a 3,000 square foot home on like 4 acres of land for $300,000. Yes, the taxes, and if you're in Texas, you're only taxed 19%. That's the maximum tax bracket, and that's if you're making $700,000 a year. I could take a 30% pay cut. I can live cheaper. I can eat for 99 cents a pound chicken. Here, I'm like, you go to the grocery store, you got to ask yourself, hey, is it, like I can even imagine the last time I had a steak. I'm lucky enough that we get a heterite colony near us that I get most of my meat from, and it's still reasonably priced. I'm just worried about all the city idiots coming here and starting to freaking, causing inflation there. But even then, we buy the cheap cuts of meat. We don't spend, my wife, she's grew up very poor in a low income housing and stuff like that. Like, I come home and she's like, what'd you eat for dinner? She's like, I had spaghetti and cheese whiz. Don't ask me why. It's just weird. It's something that she's done forever. But it's just, and I'm like, we have regular food. She's just like, this is what I'm used to. And I talk to my neighbors, my coworkers, and everyone is broke right now. And like, we work hard. We put a lot of hours. I worked all weekend. I was up in Grand Prairie on an emergency call. I got back this morning. And even then, I'm like, tomorrow I got to be down southern Alberta. I got to leave tomorrow at 5 a.m. Do a 12-hour day tomorrow, and then 12-hour the next day. And like I said, we just kind of just scrape by, and it's not getting any easier.
But that's the way it is for everyone right now. Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, it's not just us. We're not just sitting here playing a fiddle. We're trying to paint a picture here that everyone seems to be in this boat these days. And that's why people want change.
Mm-hmm. But it's in our grasp. It's in our reach. That's the big thing. We have the opportunity to try something new. And honestly, guys, screw the status quo. Screw what we've been told to believe and what we've told to shut up and just deal with it. Screw all of them. And honestly, if we get independence and it turns out to be an absolute shit show, which I guarantee won't be, then we'll just go back. You think they're not going to take us back with open arms? Well, I mean, we have one chance to get out of this mess and try to build something new with a set of laws, keep our culture, actually lock people up for doing crimes, stop the illegal invasion, stop the tariff bullshit, develop our resources without being under the thumb of Ottawa, and just keep pushing and pushing and to build the greatest, most powerful nation this world has ever seen with the greatest people in a Western culture. This is what I want. And this is why so many people are coming here. I was on my phone a couple of weeks ago with my cousin from Ottawa. He's like, Ottawa's not the same anymore. This absolutely sucks. He's like, how good is Alberta right now? How close are you guys to independence?
It can't fail. We can't let it fail. So as we go back to the beginning of the stream, when people said, well, they're too afraid to put a sign on your lawn, put the sign on your lawn. Put it up there. Nothing. I've got 6 of them on my lawn and nobody's touched them.
Yeah, I got
nobody's touched them. And you know what happened as soon as I put my sign on my lawn? A couple of neighbors went and got theirs. You can't be scared. As soon as you back down, folks, you're letting them win. We cannot fail October 19th.
And I guarantee you, everyone in your neighborhood, all of your neighbors are feeling the pinch. There's not a single person out there, unless they work for the government or in some high-ranking position or something like that. But every average Albertan out there is feeling the pinch. It doesn't matter if you're in oil and gas. Doesn't matter if you work for the government. It doesn't matter. This is why you have the unions constantly screaming that we need more money. This is why you've got, corporate people talking about they got to make cuts. Everyone is feeling the pinch right now. We get one chance at this. If we fail to vote in October, as much as we're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I think if we fail in October, they're going to change laws and they're going to make sure that this never happens again.
Oh, and your life's going to get 10 times harder. Like they're going to govern you way harder. This is what happens when you step out of line, right?
And for people that are like
447 likes.
For people that say that I don't want to rock the boat, I'm sorry, rock the goddamn boat because it's not getting any better.
Flip it. Flip the boat.
Swim to
447,
shore.
747 likes. Very disappointed. Yeah, it is a little disappointing. I guess it's because I mentioned boomers. People don't like me anymore. People are mad at me. I'm always losing subs every time I do a live show because for some reason I say something and again people just get really offended. They don't want truth. Look, guys, I don't beat around the bush with things. I don't pad things. I've admitted when I make mistakes. We're talking about statistics here. People who think that I'm personally attacking them, I am not attacking you. We're talking about a screwed up society. And if you can't sit and listen to the problems and have an open mind and say, yeah, you know what, maybe that is part of the problem. Maybe that has contributed to the problems. How are we ever going to fix things? If we can't talk about them, how are we ever going to address them? Unlike Pierre Poilievre, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to talk. And that's what we try to do here. I won't apologize for anything that we say on this show. No. Anything.
And sometimes
it's straight facts.
Sometimes it's the hard truth you guys need to hear. I know we do jokes and we laugh and we have a good time on this show, but at the bottom line is we're trying to get a message through to people about what we're trying to build and what we're trying to forge here. Exactly the name of the show. And it's just like we're saying, we've Derek, myself, Matt, all the other YouTubers are completely invested in this. And we know we've put a big target on our back. I do worry. I've talked to my wife about this, and I've talked to Derek behind the scenes that we are legitimate worried if this fails, they're going to come after us. And this is why we need your guys' support. This is why we did the telethon. This is why we're pushing all the other accounts and we're trying to get the message out there because we are 100% committed in this. And we want you guys to succeed. We want a better life for every single one of you guys that watch this show. We want you to be prosperous. We want you to be able to live in the best goddamn country this world has ever seen. And like I said, we're all in. And I'm hoping that you guys, all you guys got to do is put a goddamn sign outside of your lawn. Raise the flag. Don't be afraid to talk about it. Because you're not doing this for you. You're doing it for them. If they look at you like, oh, you're a traitor, be like, I'm doing it for you. So shut up.
There you go. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, my neighbor, I've told you about my neighbor. We talked about Neighborgate, And he came out and he said he didn't like my signs on my lines. I said, I don't recall asking for your opinion. I don't really give a shit what you think. It's on my property. And he went back into his house and he probably, got on a magnifying glass and looked for his member between his legs. I don't care if my neighbor doesn't like my signs. They're not for him. I'm standing behind my convictions. I love Alberta. I want a free and fair Alberta. And if that triggers you, you should probably sell your house, pack your shit, and go. You have to take it back. I keep saying it throughout the show, folks. Take back control of your province. When people say, oh, I don't like that you did that, I'm forever Canadian, then shut up. This is Alberta. I live here. I love Alberta. And I'm not going to let you commies take it over. Because when you don't put signs on your lawn, when you don't speak your truth, when you don't stand behind your convictions, these people will bend you over and walk all over you. They don't care how much they offend you. They don't care how much they hurt you. They don't care how much of your property they damage. Look what happened to Cool Shit. They got their store vandalized for having Alberta flags and were labeled as traitors. They put another sign up. They fixed their window. They're not going to bow down to people who tell them to live in fear. This is Alberta, and we're not scared to stand up for our province. You come to this province, you like our milk and our honey, the best you can do is put out a sign.
Yep.
You people, you come here.
But that's the good thing. That's the thing where people are, this is why we do this. And this is why I'm confident we're going to win this. This is why I'm amped about this. I'm excited and we're going to push
scared.
Forward. They're freaking out. Like when they have to resort to tactics to smash windows, I'm like, what is this, crystal knocked? This is what they have. This is their best they can. Oh, they can yell at you and give you the middle finger. So I'm like 70-year-old guy.
150 grand in a day, folks.
We're crushing
Who's doing that for Forever Canada? Who's doing that in Forever Canada? They couldn't even organize a telethon. They don't have the numbers.
You had to buy a 1990s Winnebago. He couldn't afford a new one.
Look at Carson, $2. 2 words for you, idiocracy. Go and watch that movie if you haven't seen it, folks. That's really going to paint a picture of where we're headed if we don't get out of here. Lulu Bell with a $7 super. I would like to remind pensioners, Carney's gambling with your pensions right now. I've got a video coming up about that. Harley Squirrel, that's $5 super. I've yet to meet an Alberta patriot who crossed over to the stay side. Well, why would you? There's no reason. Snow with a $5 super. Here's perspective. In 1976, truckers made about 25 cents per mile. That was the price of a coffee now. Drivers get around 60 cents per mile. How much is a coffee? That's a good way of putting it. Humble Hungarian, $20 super. All censorship bills passing and algorithms learning. It's not surprising. You can't often read what we're trying to say, and it's getting worse. So thankful we live in a free country. Albertans, it's time to be free of this. Absolutely. Katrina with a $10 super. Thank you so much. I'm a baby boomer. I see how my kids are struggling. I really see what's happening. I'm not offended by your comment because it is true. Thank you. Thank you for the super, and thank you for putting that. It's good to see that because anytime I mention boomers, do you know how many people say, I'm a boomer and you've offended me and you upset me? And I said, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you directly. We're talking about a statistic. Jeez. There's Max chiming in. I had an interview with CBC on Alberta independence, and they're absolutely relentless into painting the independence movement as a bunch of racists for questioning mass immigration. Of course, it's all they've got. It's all they've got. They don't have logic. They don't have fact. They're scared.
And Max is Latino. Like he's from Chile.
Yeah. Steve Jensen, $5 super. My only holiday has been going to the UCP AGMs for 2 days to vote on their new stupid policies and MOUs and broken promises. Steve, you are a true patriot. Never quit, my friend. Chris with the $5. Elbows up will go down as the worst bargaining technique in history. People eagerly watched the Canadian economy collapse. Now companies will flee. Good. Because that's what shows how wrong they are. And when all the elbozos come around going, yeah, but Mark Carney and it's not Donald Trump. Where's your jobs? Where's your companies? The people voting for Mark Carney want a welfare state. They want, what is it? A universal basic income?
Yep.
They want to get paid to sit on their ass. They're welfare recipients. They're bums.
No
one should take them serious.
When you're building a pipeline and you can't get a single a single petroleum company to invest because it's so difficult to do business in Canada? Ask yourself if we're on the right path.
Did you see the picture that Chris Scott showed of our RV? Going to put TomToms to shame. We did that. I haven't seen it. I'll check it out. But this is the government. This is how the government behaves. This is how the government sees you, ladies and gentlemen.
Give me your fucking money!
That's all you are to them. You're a piggy bank. That's it. That's it. Endless cash flow. Endless cash flow. Ladies and gents, we got to wrap up the show. We've gone way over time. Mike's got to work in the morning. I got to do some stuff in the morning. We got to get more videos up for you guys. Go and watch the video I put out just before the stream. Check it out. Go order your baseball jerseys, folks. Code FRINGE to save you 20% on those jerseys. You'll get them for less than $200. And they're so high quality. They're so comfortable. I was blown away when I actually got mine. Wow, they're great.
I've been wearing mine pretty religious, and it's super comfortable.
I love them. I love them. Look at it. Brenda says she already purchased one. You guys are great. Guys, join me live Wednesday with Matt. Join me all week long. Look at this. Alberta Pin chiming in 3 things. I love you both and Matt. Oh, that's gay. 2, did Elections Alberta announce mail-in voting for October 19th? Not to my knowledge. 3, put up the flag. I'll look into Elections Alberta. I don't believe they have mail-in vote. We've never had mail-in voting, especially on referendums.
I'll have to look into that.
We'll look into it, but don't scare the audience like that unless we know.
Guys, share the show, talk about the show with your friends, smash that like button, leave a comment in the chat, because like I said, we're winning this. We're going to push forward. After talking to Keith and the telethon and all the other TPAs, like I said, I talked to Sheila tonight, and we are very, very excited about the future. The next couple of months is going to be absolutely crazy. So I want everybody to hunker down and get out there, spread the word. Share the show, talk about it, and like I said, Derek, final words.
Watch the content when it comes out. YouTube has been censoring it like crazy. I've had to do a few little tricks to get videos out. I know you guys will notice today, the titles are a little weird. They're a little out there, but that's what we have to do to survive right now. So go watch the content, like, comment, subscribe. Constantly check if you're still subscribed. YouTube is unsubscribing people all the time. Join me with Matt on Wednesday. Join me with Mrs. Fringe on Friday. We got lots more to talk about. Boomers, don't be mad at me. We're still your friends. We're just telling the truth. Guys, from Mike, myself, everybody else here at the Fringe, have a wonderful night. Look after each other. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.